Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra with me, Shail Bhatnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, the markets have turned absolutely flat after, as per lines and expected, RBI policy has delivered status quo as far as the repo rate is concerned, but a cut in the CRR. We did see a spike right after the announcements were made, but then it fizzled out towards about half an hour into the policy announcements right there. When we look at the kind of move that we are seeing right now, 24,666 right now on the Nifty, it's a 42 point of a downtick. The Nifty Bank, which had further stemmed up in spirits right after the announcements came in, especially for the CRR cut, that's also lost a lot of ground, about 53,514 right now, about 90 points of a decline on the Nifty Bank particularly. What's still doing well? Consumer durables, 1.2% higher for this index. Metals, autos, and even the PSU banks, FMCG, and some broad markets are also still in fine fettle. On the Nifty, you have Bajaj Auto, Axis Bank, Tata Motors, BPCL, and Maruti Suzuki as the top winners. Whereas on the losing ground, you have Cipla that drags at 1.4%, Adani Ports, Bharti Airtel, HDFC Life, and IndusInd Bank still on the losing ground right now. Good afternoon to all our viewers, and good afternoon, Shail. Okay, Shell, I guess, is not able to hear us. Let's try and fix that for him. But in the meanwhile, we'll welcome our guest on board. We have Mr. Amar Singh, Senior Vice President, Research at Angel One, now joining in to share with us his viewpoints on the markets. Warm welcome, Amar. Good to have you with us. Tell us, how are you really reading into the market sentiment? We were up for 5 days consecutively, and the Nifty managed to end at 1.5 month highs, despite all the volatility, even on the expiry session yesterday. Today, the expectation was that the RBI will come out with a status quo policy. It's come in line, but why do you think the markets have not been enthused enough?
Yeah, I would say that, see, if you look at the markets were looking at a couple of things. One is that the slowdown of the corporate earnings was definitely on top of the market, so we witnessed some sharp correction there. And then we also got the news that the GDP growth for this quarter, July-September quarter, that is down significantly at 5.8% versus expectations of somewhere around 6.7% or so. And then RBI also revises downwards the overall GDP growth for the year at 6.6 versus 7.2. So these are some factors which are playing out, and also inflation is still on the higher side. So that does not give much of an elbow room to the RBI to cut rates. I think that's where the major challenge is. Otherwise, given that we've seen US Fed cut rates, India would also, or RBI would also have followed suit had the inflation been under 6 or below 6. So that's not the case. So from that perspective, RBI had the, I would say, window of opportunity in terms of reducing the CRR, because if you look at the CRR cut, that would lead to at least a lakh crore plus of funds available for banks to increase the lending book. So that had helped the PSU banks, and to a certain extent, the private sector banks also witnessed a sharp rally, and HDFC Bank hitting record highs. So that's really played out, and a lot of this was clearly, I would say, discounted by the markets, and that's the reason we saw the sharp rally in the PSU banks as well in some of the private sector banks. So it was more or less a discounted factor, and so once nothing new came out, so markets just shrugged it off.
Okay, got that. So that's the view on the overall markets right now. Amarji, we were seeing a lot of bump up in the financial space, banking space, and the IT space in the run up to the policy right there. Post the policy, are you really looking at any rate sensitives which should be on investors' radar, or should one look at beyond this space?
I would say if you look at the market somewhere or the other, we've seen some sharp pullback in the financials, as you rightly said, and also in the financials. Also, we've seen a different space from apart from the banking. We've seen the exchange stocks
Yes.
witnessing a significant rally, be it BSE, be it MCX, be it some of the financial intermediaries like CAMS. Also, IEX has witnessed some up moves there. and the CDSL as well. So overall markets are definitely looking at all these different pieces or all these different segments in totality. And apart from that, IT has been definitely some of the IT stocks have been there. Coforge trading at record highs,
Yeah.
and other stocks also, including Infosys, also inching up higher. So clearly there are some signs that maybe things from the US or post Donald Trump becoming the president wouldn't be as bad as maybe it was envisaged. And also the depreciation of the rupee hitting record lows against the dollar, that also adds something to the bottom line of these IT companies. So I think that's also what's helping them. So so that's what's playing out in the markets. And yes, HDFC Bank being the major heavyweight in Nifty, trading at record highs, definitely bolsters the up move in Nifty. But at higher levels, we would witness some profit booking in there as well.
All right. I think Shell has also joined us.
7 minutes
Shell, can you hear
left
us?
for trade. Yes, I can hear you clearly, Sakshi. Let's just do a market-wide check on an event which has played out to perfection. So you have a 50 basis point cut in the CRR, and what is rejoicing is the mid-cap space and the small-cap space, as also is the broader market. So 1441 shares are in the green, 921 are in the red. Now, for those who had any doubts, this week's closing will be critical on the Nifty, and possibly we'll start moves on 25,000 first, and then maybe 25,500 next week. The mood is intensely bullish across the street. The top gaining index is the Nifty Alpha 50, which is actually the mid cap index. The small cap index is also up 0.7%. And of course, out of the 19 indices that we track for you, the traction on the green side is in 13. Apart from that, very strong moves coming into many counters. MCX for a brief while crossed 7,000. Amarji was just talking about it. What also is an all-time high is HBL Power, as also Kernex Microsystems. There is an order for anti-collision devices which the railway has released. Kernex has received for about 2041 crores. HBL Power has received for 600 crores. Both these stocks are doing pretty well. There's no stopping Policy Bazaar. Fresh move coming into RailTel. It's at a record high. I don't think so. This number is not correct. Nevertheless, a very strong move in all these counters. And of course, no stopping BSC. Let's get Amarji into the conversation. Amarji, would you have a view on IEX?
So if I look at IEX, Indian Energy Exchange, see what is happened in Indian Energy Exchange is that the stock had significantly rallied earlier, and from almost 245 levels, the stock corrected towards 180, and now it started moving up. And over the last couple of weeks, previous week and this week, the stock is up by almost from 165 towards 185 levels. And if we look at the stock from a short-term perspective, the stock has got immediate resistance. It was the earlier resistance was around 175, 180. That has been taken out. So the stock is poised to rise towards the 190, 195 odd levels. And also, if you look at the trend for the stock, that seems to have changed from a short-term perspective, which was earlier more or less into consolidation. So the stock sustaining over the current levels has the potential to rally towards 190, 195, where it could meet with some pressure. But overall, if you look at the trend and some of the technical indicators, they continue to remain positive on the monthly charts or on the quarterly charts. Yes, weekly or the intermediate term trend still continues to be not exactly a cause of concern, but shows that higher levels, somewhere around 190, 195, the stock could witness some profit booking. Sustaining above that level, then the stock is poised for a significant rally towards the 215 to 20 levels.
Okay. Got that. Okay, Amarji, apart from this, how are you really looking at the entire railway space that Shell also pointed out? I think across the board there are sharp signs of reversal. RBNL is up, Railtel is higher, Rights is up, Ircon International, Jupiter Wagons, IRFC. The entire space seems to be in the thick of action right now. Is the worst behind for railways? Should one incrementally start putting in fresh money here?
I would say that if I look at first of all RVNL, so the stock from 650 levels corrected all the way towards 400, 420, 420 odd levels, and then currently it's around 458, 460. So these are very important levels because some of the technical indicators or the moving averages clearly tell that if the stock sustains above the 460, 462 level, then it could rise towards the 475, 480 levels. But yes, the worst seems to be over for them, at least until unless we see a major sell-off across the board happening in the markets. But it seems that the stock has formed somewhat of a support. And looking at the others, Railtel, if I look at, Railtel is also having a similar story. It's painting a similar story there. And it's currently around 432, 432 odd levels. Sustaining all these levels are something which is very important. But yes, the recent low which it had made of 360, 380 zone, that's a very strong support zone for the stock. Very unlikely to breach that in a hurry until unless we see a major collapse across the markets.
Okay, Amarji, thank you so much for being with us on this show to share with us all your insights. Always appreciate your presence with us. So thank you for being with us as of now. About a 30 point of a downtick on the Nifty night now, viewers. 24,678 is the current level at which it is trading at currently. But yes, the railway space is on the bus. What else is now picking up further pace is metals. The way they are shining bright, 1% and more higher in trade right now. It's the top moving sectoral index. What's moving here? Vedanta, 6.5% higher. You have Hindustan Zinc that was pointed out by Shell in the morning. That's up by 2%. Jindal Stainless, NMDC, SAIL. You also have Jindal Steel and Power, Hindustan Copper, Tata Steel, all of them in fine shape as of now. Apart from this, what else is buzzing is the consumer durable space as well. About over 1% up. The stocks that are on the buzz here are Blue Star, that's up over 6.3%. Almost a 3% uptick for Voltas, Serra Sanitary Ware, V-Guard, Titan, Dixon Tech. All of them are actually buzzing in trade as far as these consumer durable stocks are also concerned. Within the PSUs, apart from the railways, even the power space and the oil and gas space is also in good flavor. So within the power space, you have NHPC that's up nearly 3.5%. REC, PFC, both are up in trade. Power Grid is also buzzing. So that's as far as the power space is concerned. And within the oil and gas space, it's all the OMCs that are also buzzing pretty sharply in trade. Of course, we do have a lot of momentum that's also buzzing within the broader markets. You have many interesting stocks that are pulling up. ITI we had marked in the morning, it's now up 13.5%. We also have stocks like, interesting ones like Landmark Property that we had marked, it's still at a 20% circuit. Akshopti Fiber is up by 19% odd or so in trade right now. HPL Electric and Power, that one is also buzzing in trade. Dhani Services from the NBFC pack is also buzzing pretty sharply. That's the entire buzz within. Umang Dairies is also up. That's also on the buzz as far as the broader markets are concerned. What else are you looking at, Share?
Sakshi, I'm looking at Friday evening. We've had a great journey and a very, very strong rally that is now spreading across the board. Hospital stocks will now to start participate. The other interesting counter on my radar is now Tata Motors. This is something that has seen a lot of pain and sure signs of reversal that are coming on the charts. For the last 3 weeks, it's sort of on a sideways trend. The most recent low being 760, now 810. But a lot of momentum now favoring on the long side. If you look at the correction, it's already 33% from the peak. and this is more than enough. So for those who want to buy quality and want to buy quality at a relatively cheaper price, remember in August when it hit a record high, Tata Motors was at 1166 and it is now at 810. I think the worst is over. This is something that you should also check with your independent financial advisor, and maybe the coming weeks will be better. We have two major events that are coming in, which is the rate hike by at least some car makers, and of course the fact that December will soon end, and typically in the last month sales are a little lesser because you want to take a newer model for a new year. So that is something that I am looking forward to, and at the moment 812, at the moment 1.6% higher, Sakshi.
Right, let's welcome another guest on board. We have Mr. Kunal B. Parar, Vice President Technical Research at Choice Equity Broking, now joining in. Kunal, welcome. Good to have you with us. Tell us what's the sense that you're getting on the markets right now on both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank. What's looking better?
Well, at this level, Nifty is looking better because Nifty has been trading above 200 days moving average. It took the support of the same, and we are experiencing a good bounce back. However, if Nifty is sustaining above its 24,500, or let's say in today's trading session, now likely chances are there that Nifty will give a closing above 24,500 because it is trading at 24,681. So upward momentum that we can see afterward is up to the level of 25,300. So yes, if we talk about Nifty and Bank Nifty, then I have a much confidence, particularly on the Nifty than the Bank Nifty, because Bank Nifty has a strong resistance somewhere around of its recent top, and if Bank Nifty cross that top, then only we can see a good upside momentum Bank Nifty.
Okay, let's take a detour into the markets and find out the stocks in the FNO space that are buzzing with gains and are showing a substantial rise in volume. Look at Angel One. You have a 27% uptick in open interest. As I have said, that the new companies that have come into the stock futures market since December have shown a very aggressive appetite on the long side. Look at Policy Bazaar. Although it is at a record high today, even at this level, Policy Bazaar is showing a very sharp uptick in open interest, which essentially means that newer guests in the market are being welcomed with open arms. Look at Sakshi, you know what is back? Low ticket, high beta. SGVN, NHPC, CESC, IEX, all of them have very high open interest setups. SGVN has 56% higher open interest. NHPC has again 56% higher open interest. CESC 32%. These are the moves that are coming in very dramatically. IRFC up open interest of to the tune of 2.27%, and volumes are 3.6 times. So these are indicators for you to see that the risk on trade is back, and of course Dalal Street is celebrating two things: $1 billion single day net purchase by foreign institutional investors, and of course the rate cut in the cash reserve ratio. Sakshi.
Kunal, between the exchange stocks, MCX, IEX, where would you place your fresh bets in this momentum?
But obviously, I'll place my fresh long position in MCX only. No doubt, we have seen a very good upside momentum in both the counters, but risk reward is in favor of MCX, not in favor of BXC. Right now, MCX is trading at 6,952, and it is trading above its recent top, and it has been trading above its uncharted territory. So, for the upside momentum, we can see the counter with the strict stop loss that we will put somewhere around 6,500. No doubt, asset is at little bit lower level, but the way stock has been trading, we can say a very good upside momentum up to the level of 7,400. and afterwards 7,800. So for MCX, yes, fresh position that one can create in MCX, but for BSC, risk reward is not in favor of for creating a long position. But yeah, definitely, if you have this stock in your portfolio, please hold this. We can see further upside momentum in the counter up to the level of somewhere around 5,400 to 5,500.
Okay. Got that. So that's as far as the exchange related stocks are concerned. We'll keep an eye out on this one too. And how about the F&O movers, especially from the new age tech space now? Stocks like Delivery, after a long term coming back, 7% higher in the F&O space. You also have PB Fintech that also shell marked out. That's also moving pretty strongly. Now at sharp up move of 6% that can be seen within the F&O space, and even Paytm is picking up now within the new age tech space. How are you looking at this entire move that's developing?
Well, if you look at this chart, Paytm, Policy, Fintech, and Delivery, all these three stocks are looking very good on a daily chart. But I think these candidates are not for creating a long position, particularly in the F&O size, because SL will be at very much lower level if you talk about risk to reward ratios. Now, if you talk about particularly cash part, then I think Paytm and Policy Bazaar, can do very much good level. I mean, we can say very good level of return, particularly in these two counters, because if we look at the MOM theory base and the way stock has been trading since last 5 to 6 months, further upside momentum would be there. Particularly if you talk about Paytm right now, it is trading at 977 and strong. It has a strong resistance somewhere around 1,000, and if stock breaks this 1,000, then up to the level of 1,400 to 1,500 momentum that we can see in the Paytm. If you talk about Policy Bazaar, the way stock has been trading on a daily chart, it has given a breakout of its recent top, which was placed at 1,967, and right now stock is trading above its level. So I think these two stocks look very good for the short to medium term, but not for F&O trading.
Okay.
258, ladies and gentlemen. What we will do now is show you all-time highs. These are stocks that have come up with very strong volumes, and despite the flat trade in the market, are showing wonderful traction. Over the last 3 or 4 minutes, we've marked BSE, CDSL, MCX and Policy Bazaar, but there are many more which deserve mention. This is Ganesh Housing, one of those low PE, very well capitalized and very high profit making companies, today trading at 1320, up 3.7%. Please keep this on your radar. This is a fabulously good stock which has come out of a very long term consolidation phase. We also have record highs on Indotech transformers. Every day it goes up 5%. Even in the worst phase of the market in October and November, this was a complete uptick that used to happen on a regular basis. What else is at a record high? Sundaram Clayton, 2.4% higher, and the counter is at the moment trading at 2,000. 1 second, let me just check the price. The price is right there in front of you, and of course the usual suspects in the form of Mafang ETF, as also Time Technoplast, 7.5% higher, 477. Sakshi.
We'll look at some of the other pockets also that are buzzing. Auto space is now coming back. Tata Motors at 814, Bajaj Auto about 9100 odd levels right now. The auto space is finally moving from the slow lane to and shifting gears to a faster lane right now. We've been seeing a lot of these price actions coming in now, Kunal, from these four-wheelers and passenger car makers on the price hikes that are getting announced from 1st of January. That will be the new year. Finally, the 3-4 months long discounting period will end for some of these companies. That will also mean higher realizations for them for sure. But what is the kind of sense that you're getting in the auto space? Two-wheelers versus four-wheelers, where do you think strength return?
Well, if we look at the daily chart of few stocks like Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, Maruti, actually, equation goes in favor of bull side only. Right now, let's talk on the Bajaj Auto. Right now, it is trading at 9,090. Stock from Hammer Candlesticks formation during previous trading session. Not only this, stock took the support of its 8,700 level on weekly chart. So, equation goes in favor of bull side position only. One can go for creating a long position with strict SL of 8,700. Upper side first target we can see somewhere around 9,500, and at this level if stock breaks this 9,500, then further upside would be there up to the level of 11,000. So Bajaj Auto in two-wheeler space looks very attractive. However, if you talk about four-wheeler, then Maruti and Tata Motors, right, both looks very attractive. Particularly Tata Motors. Right now, Tata Motors is up by 2%, trading at somewhere around 815. It is giving a breakout of its range-bound momentum. Not only this, on a weekly chart, it took the support of its previous bottom. So overall, this stocks look very attractive, but in four-wheelers auto segment, one can create a long position at present level at 815. Downside, we will keep SLX 780. First target that we can see in Tata Motor is comes at 844, and afterwards, further upside would be there up to the level of 900. So risk in terms of risk reward wise, in four-wheeler segment, Tata Motors look very attractive, and in two-wheeler wise, Bajaj Auto looks very attractive.
Okay, lots of railway stocks are in action. Apart from the ones that make anti-collision devices, you'll see a lot of activity on IRFC. This is something that we had pointed out yesterday also. The three financing arms of the government, in the railway space IRFC, in the housing space HUDCO, and in the renewable space IREDA. All three of them have shown very good traction in volume and in price. Please keep an eye out on them. Apart from this, within the railway space, RVNL is up 4.7%, Railtel is adding 4.3%, IRCON is up 3.2%, and RITES up 3% at 296. Across the board, ladies and gentlemen, there is this demand for high beta low ticket items. Within the PSU space, ITI, as Sakshi has pointed out and I did yesterday, ITI actually hit a 20% circuit. So you can well imagine how risk on trade is back. Apart from that, financing arms REC is 2.6% higher, 559. This is the power financing arm that is doing pretty well. And all three OMCs, HPCL, BPCL and IOC, are in top shape. Sakshi.
The view on some of these stocks right there. Moving on, let's see some of the other pockets that could also warrant investors' attention. Let's look at the Nifty Next 50 names to see if there are anything interesting that's coming in. From the auto ancillaries, it's Samvardhan Motherson that's pulling up. You have Tata Power that's up in trade. JSW Energy is another one. Sri Cement is doing well. Varun Beverages continues its upward momentum, 1.5% higher for this one. Indigo is also pulling up now. Then you also have stocks like ABB India that's also coming back. Zomato, of course, hovers around 301 odd levels. Kunal, Zomato at 301. Would you continue to carry on the trade here?
Well, definitely I'll continue my trade, and if I get a chance, definitely I'll create a new long position as well. Right now, stock is trading at 302 level, and stock has given a breakout of its all-time high level. Means stock has been trading in an uncharted territory. So positive outlook is there for the counters. One can go for creating a long position present level with strict stop loss somewhere around 278. Further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 345, and if stock break this, hidden resistance of 345, then one way momentum would be there up to the level of 380. So risk reward is in favor of creating a long position with strict SL of 278, 279.
Okay, got that. So that's the kind of view that's coming in. Let me also look at some of the other stocks. Okay, within the NBFC space, I had marked like Dhani Services, that's up now in double digits, 10% higher. Indostar Capital Finance is up by 9%. You have Reliance Home Finance, 4.8% higher. Relicare. Then you also have some of the broking houses like Nuvama doing very well in trade. Then you have Geojit Financial Services also doing well. PNB Housing and housing finance companies like Canfin Housing, that's also doing well. LIC Housing as well. We've been discussing the banking space, but what about this NBFC move that continues? What looks good from this space?
Well, overall, if you talk about NBFCs, overall, 2 to 3 stocks are there which looks very attractive. Means no doubt REC is there, SBI Life, ICICI, GI, Muthoot Finance, all are trading at very good level. But one stock is there, and I think SailG has already discussed about this particular stock, REC, which is trading at 559, and it's a very good fundamental and dividend paying company in terms of PSUs. One can go for creating a long position because stock has given a breakout of its rounding button and in a smaller time frame. Not only this, stock has also given a breakout of its downward falling trend line. So all the equation goes in favor of bull side only. Downside timing support comes at somewhere around 536. So one can go for long position with strict cash flow of 536. First target that we can say the counter comes somewhere around the 582, and if stock breaks this 582, then further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 632. So definitely amongst NBFC and particularly in PSUs, REC looks very attractive.
Okay, REC looks very attractive at this point in time. Viewers, what we'll do right now is also get you a sense of what can you really expect in the primary market space as well. And probably, Kunal, you could also just listen in. I'm now joined by my colleague Pavan Nahar to give us a sense of how the street is getting prepared for 3 to 4 IPOs that will be coming in soon. We did talk about Vishal Mega Mart in one of our earlier videos today, but there are others also that are opening up. So let's listen in from Pavan. How should you get prepared, and what are the companies that are coming up with the IPOs? Pavan, over to you.
So good afternoon, Sakshi. We have already 3 IPOs officially announced for next week, and Vishal Mega Mart, Sai Life Sciences, and MobiKwik. These 3 IPOs are likely to raise somewhere around 11,600 crores, more than that amount next week. These all 3 are main board IPOs. So dates for these 3 IPOs is fixed at 11 December to 13 December. All 3 IPOs will open on Wednesday, 11 December, and will close for bidding on Friday, 13th of December. So let's talk about these IPOs one by one. So Vishal Mega Mart, which is the biggest IPO among the 3. So the company has fixed the price band in the range of 74 to 78 rupees, and it is looking to raise 8,000 crores, crores from the primary offering, which is entirely an offer for sale. Vishal Mega Mart is a hyper chain market or a retail chain which offers wide range of products including apparels, groceries, electronics, and home essentials to the customers. Retail portion for this IPO is 35%. QIBs will have 50% of the reservation, and the rest of 15% will go to non-institutional investors. Size Life Sciences IPO dates 13 to 11 December. Price band is fixed in the range of 522 to 549 rupees, and the lot size is 27 shares. The company is looking to raise 300, a little more than 3,040 crores, and which includes a fresh issue of 950 crores and offer for sale of 3.81 equity shares, 3.81 crore equity shares. Sorry. So the retail investors will also get a reservation of 35% in this issue. QIBs will have 50%, and non-institutional investors will have 15% of the reservation. MobiKwik, as we all know, that fintech player which provides the digital wallet and payment services. This issue will also be open between the same dates. The price band for this issue is 265 to 279 rupees, and the lot size is of 53 equity shares, and the company is likely to raise 572 crores, which is entirely a fresh issue. There is no offer for sale in this IPO. However, retail investors will have only 10% of reservation in this IPO, while QIB will get the 75% of the chunk, and remaining 15% will go to the non-institutional investors. That's all from my side, Sakshi.
Okay. Right. Thanks a lot, Pavan, for all that update right there. Kunal, anything within this IPO space that you're looking at?
Actually, I can't comment on the IPO side.
No, I just wanted to ask if there is anything interesting that you're also watching out for within the IPO space. I think MobiKwik is one of those which has had a long waiting period among investors. This was long in waiting, and Vishal Mega Mart is something that most of the middle class is of course. Used to of buying their daily, weekly and even monthly stuff from as well. So that also has a large consumer interest on that front, and we have at least 3 of them that are opening on the same day right there. Shell, what else are you looking at?
311 Sakshi, and I'm repeatedly telling you I'm looking forward to Friday evening. Both of us have worked very, very hard for the last 6 sessions, and so far the most interesting things that I see is that the close of Zomato today will be above 300 rupees, and we had done that comparison with Coal India, but such is life. What can you do in the morning? So that is something that I am looking forward to. A new, how should I say, phase in the life of Zomato starts from Monday, when the counter will now be above 300 rupees, and this is accompanied by a very, very sharp uptick across the entire internet space. Some stocks that we don't track, look at car trade. This is again a platform that provides buying and selling of cars. It had seen an all-time high on its listing month itself, which was in July 2021 at 1500 rupees. It sunk all the way down to 330 rupees by next 7-8 months, and is now again reclaiming the lost glory. So this is something that you can look at till about 400 rupees when the stock was clicking some months ago. You had seen 700 crores on the balance sheet and a market capitalization of just 2000 crore rupees. So these are the kind of how should I say pricing mismatches that the market has. And if I remember correctly, Sakshi, we had also marked a block deal on this one. So keep an eye out on this one. Hind Rectifiers, this is one of the finest railway ancillaries that I have tracked over the last 20 years. It's called High Rect, and look at the blowout that is happening today at the price of about 1464. The counter is up is up 4.2%. So the entire theme of the railway space is doing pretty well. In the last 3 months, Sakshi, the counter has gone up from 800 rupees to 1400 rupees. So all those stocks that are tied to the railway space have now started to move for 2 reasons: a fresh order inflow, and now ahead of February 1st, you will see a lot of action coming into all budget related stocks, which is railways, PSUs, and in particular fertilizer companies, which we shall start tracking from Monday onwards. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shell. And just today we've come to know that the finance minister has begun her pre-budget consultation starting today itself, which actually means that things will be speeding up as far as 1st February is concerned, and that will be the next big trigger that the markets will also be really looking at. Remember, from the July budget onwards, we have actually seen only maybe a month of move, but after that it's been kind of softening, and because there were a lot of global macros as well to really react to geopolitical tensions as well. But now things will again start to build up as far as expectations are concerned on the upcoming budget as well. Do you think, Kunal, it's a good idea to really start positioning one's portfolios with respect to the kind of budget related themes that could work in? I think post the July budget, because there was disappointment, the defense stock started to dwindle. There was high expectation that big orders and big announcements should be made, and that was absolutely absent from the speech itself of finance minister, and therefore there was a lot of lag in this space. Defense, railways, PSUs, do you think these are the kind of pockets that will come back in flavor now?
Hello.
Kunal, yes, could you hear us?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think defense, railway, and PSU sector will work particularly based on this budget expectation. No doubt, we didn't see any kind of momentum after this July budget, but that's not the actually result. I think recently we heard defense related news that government has proposed somewhere around 22,000 crore for a new defense equipment part. So this kind of news will be there throughout the year, and particularly investors or trader has to focus on the fundamental part or the technical part, not particularly based on the budget that how this budget is going to be for defense PSUs or railways part. So if we talk about the stock wise, if we talk about defense wise, this is the perfect time where one should get into this railway stock and defense stock, because on technical front, if you pull out all the charts related to this stocks and sectors, I think they are somewhere around forming a rounding bottom formation with the strong support of a weekly chart, with strong support of its 200 days, 100 days moving average. Not only this, they all are coming out of this conjunction formations. And if you talk about indicator wise, they all are showing some bullish kind of momentum. So this is the perfect time where one should get into the stocks if they have already created the position on a higher level. That now this is the perfect time where they can create for average position as well. So this is the perfect time where they can go for average time. This is the perfect time where they can create for fresh long position as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 3:17 p.m. We have 13 minutes left, and now let us start troubling Kunal on what he would like to carry back home for the weekend, if at all. Already, we've had about a 1300 point rally on the Nifty from its low of 23,350, which was there 3 weeks ago. So a very sharp momentum already in the system. Kunal, what looks good? Will you carry home anything on the long or the short side, or will you just relax?
No, I definitely carry, and it would be long side only. I'm not seeing any downside movement as of now, because I think Nifty is going to give its close above its 24,500 level. So let's focus on bull side momentum only. Indigo looks very attractive on and on an early chart. Indigo is giving a breakout of its recent top, which was placed at 4,452. So I think one can go for creating a long position in Indigo at the present level 4,485. Downside strong support comes at somewhere around 4,380. Upper side first target we can see somewhere around 4,560, and moreover with 4,640 would be there.
Okay. Right. So that's the move that we are expecting on this particular space. We were talking about Zomato, but even the entire QSR space also, Kanal, is actually a buzz with action. Look at Jubilant Foodworks and the kind of move that it has shown today. 5% higher in trade. A strong move that's been seen on this one. Varun Beverages has been consistently moving for the last many days. It continues to move up, 1.5% up. You have the other same company mover, Devyani International, now 4% higher in trade as well. There is Sapphire Foods that's also doing very well in trade right now. So this entire QSR chain space, does this interest you at all?
Well, definitely, if we look at this space, Jubilant Food and Divyani and all the stocks, the way all the stocks are trading, I think now Jubilant Food works very well based on this momentum theory. Right now, Jubilant Food is trading with 5% gaining momentum with above average volume. But if we compare with the value theory with the MOM theory, I think MOM outperform the value theory. And based on this theory, I think Jubilant looks very attractive. One can go for creating a long position, not for short term, but I'll definitely talk about the medium term to long term for these counters. So one can go for creating a long position at particular level 694 with 6 SL somewhere around SL would be at lower level somewhere around 630. First target would be at 750, which is its recent top. And if stock breaks this recent top, then one way upside momentum would be there up to the level of 840. So risk reward is in favor for creating a long position for medium term.
Okay. Interesting. The 10 minutes to go before the markets shut shop, and you also have some other pockets that are moving. Kunal, we began by discussing with you on the auto space, stocks like Tata Motors, you had talked about Bajaj Auto and those. But when the autos start to move, it's the auto ancillaries also that get into focus. The sharp momentum that is being seen on many stocks today, let's actually pull up some of them. Let's look at Omax Auto. It's 9% higher in trade today. Gabriel India, 8.7% higher in trade today. Minda Corp is up 5%. Sharda Motors is up 4.4%. Lumax Auto is up 4%. Setco Automotive is up almost 10% in trade. Then you have many other names that are actually pulling up. Precision Camshafts, Ask Automotive, Talbros Auto, all of them in thick momentum. Auto ancillary, any particular stock that comes onto your radar today?
Yes, one stock is there, and I think it looks very attractive on daily chart, and it will do some better for our traders and investors. Exide Industries is there because the way stock has been trading on a daily chart, for the upside momentum would be there. We have seen a good reversal on a daily chart. Not only this stock has also taken the support of its bottom on a weekly chart. On an early chart, stock has given a breakout of its downward falling trend line. So all the equation goes in bull favor only. One can go for creating a long position at present level with strict SS somewhere around 440. First target would be at 476, and if stock breaks this 476, then further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 535. So in auto ancillaries, Excite looks very attractive.
Okay, got that.
Let's look at HBL Power. This is a counter where a very strong volume burst is happening. As I have mentioned, this is again one of those spaces in railway where fresh orders have come in, 6.6% higher, and 1700 crores worth of shares have been traded. Kunal, would you want to look at this stock?
Definitely, Selji. If you pull out this HBL power system right now, stock is trading at 675. No doubt, it's upper average
Yes.
volume activity is there in the counter right now. Stock made a high of 708, and right now it is trading at 675. So I think it's better to stay away as of now because we are seeing some profit booking from its top level. Not only this, stock has a strong support resistance somewhere around 720. So if anybody want to create a long position, then let it sustain above 120 first.
Okay, in terms of volume, the weekly volume that has happened this week has been the highest since, let me tell you, August of 2023, when the stock was at 225 rupees. And from then on, of course, it had two great months. So please keep HBL Power in mind. This is something that is exploding in price and volume based on two things, an order inflow and of course the move into railway stocks. For the last how many months, let me tell you this very interesting data. Okay, for the last, this is in August and we are sitting in December. So for the last, and I'm talking about August of 2024. So for the last about 6 months, the counter has done nothing. And this is a breakout that is happening. Please track it and have a view from an independent observer. Again, policy bazaar, there is absolutely no end to this rally, 6.5% higher. December is turning out to be a great month for the F&O space as far as new entrants are concerned. And Sakshi, with the close of weekly expiries and indices, it is stock futures that are doing immensely well. Although it's very overheated on the long side, Kunal, one final view on policy bazaar.
Well, definitely, Selji, I'll go for long position, particularly in this counter, because the way counter has been trading recently, it has been a breakout of its all-time high, and it has been trading in an uncharted territory. So further upside momentum would be there based on this MOM theory. I think one can create a long position at present level with a strict SL somewhere around 1950. Further upside would be there up to the level of 2400, and afterwards 2700 would be there. So yes, but these stocks do some kind of miracles for investors.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as PB FinTech is concerned. The other pocket that's looking interesting and one can actually keep an eye out on, because there is flavor in the season, is because there is a lot of weddings that are happening in this month, and you see all the jewelry related stocks coming back. Titan within the top movers on the Nifty, that's up and about. You have TBZ, Tribhuvan Das Zaveri Jewelers, that's up 10% in trade today. That's the kind of move that we have seen. PC Jewelers is up 3%, Senco Gold, Thanga Mile, they're also up by about 2.5% each. What is your favorite jewelry stock right there, Kunal?
Well, definitely I'll go with this Titan only because it is fundamentally very strong counter. Not only this, right now counter is trading at 3467. Took the support of its previous bottom and showing a rounding bottom on a daily chart. So definitely I'll go with Titan right now trading at 3466 with 6 sales somewhere around 3340. First target that we can see in the counter somewhere around 3600, and afterwards ultimate target would be 3900.
Okay, got that. All right, Kunal, before we let you go then and before we wind up the edition today, what is your expectation for the markets for the next week? How would you advise investors to really keep an eye out on the strategies that you can advise?
Well, this is the perfect time where one can go for creating a long position. Not only this, even this is the perfect time for creating average position as well. First target we can say that 25,200, and if Nifty breaks this 25,200, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 27,000. So this is the perfect time. Yahi time, sahi time for investment.
Kya baat hai?
327, ladies and gentlemen. Let's now start wrapping up the market of what has been a fabulous week. What is also getting ready for next week is the metal space. Look at Vedanta, look at Steel Authority, look at how NMDC, Tata Steel and Hindustan Zinc and Hindustan Copper are shaping up. Very high development of open interest in all these prices. And of course, who can forget one of the highest beta counters here, Jindal Steel and Power, today 1.7% higher. These are counters which will take the market to fresh highs. And if you look at what Jindal Steel and Power has done is that for the last maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks at least, it's moved from 856 to 950. The all-time high on this one is somewhere in the vicinity of 1100 rupees. So these are counters that you need to keep an eye out on this one. This week was a story which was kept up by PSU banks, in particular Canara, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, Union Bank of India, Central Bank, and of course the IT space. Record highs on HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, Coforge, Persistent, so many of them. So the baton will change hands, and we will see the run up continue, and let's hope that the start of a fresh week on Monday will see the move coming to 25,000 and then 25,500. Make no mistake, we are headed towards a record high on the Nifty as also the Bank Nifty.
Okay, got that. Kunal, we'll thank you on that note for being with us on this show to share with us all those insights. Good to always speak to you and seek all those insights on the markets and the outlook. We'll start wrapping up. 3:29 right now. We are ending about this entire week, which has been pretty good for the markets on a flat with a negative bias. 24,669 in front of you on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank ends with about 110 points of a loss at 53,493. But various sectors that contributed to the gains today include metals, consumer durables, autos, and PSU banks, and even the broader markets. What did give up some gains after yesterday's strong move is the IT space, about 0.3% of a decline on that one after hitting record high levels. Realty, banks, pharma, financial services, those were the pockets that saw some profits being taken off the table. Top movers on the Nifty today are Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Axis Bank, BPCL and Maruti Suzuki, whereas all the declining side, you have the stocks like Adani Ports that declined by 1.5%, Cipla, HDFC Life, Bharti Airtel, IndusInd Bank and Asian Paints as those which were seen dragging. In the F&O space, you had MCX that was seen shining bright, 7% higher. Delivery followed with about a 7% uptick. From the railways, it was IRFC. Apart from this, we also had strong moves coming in on PB Fintech, Lupin and Vedanta as well within the F&O space. On the lower side, as far as the F&O action is concerned, Canfin Homes declined by 4%. CAMS also saw some profits being taken off, 3% lower. Marico, Adani Green and Adani Total Gas were some of the other pockets that declined in shape. But PSU is also coming back strongly with the railways, power-related stocks, OMCs also doing well as of today. We'll wrap it up at that note, viewers. Many thanks for joining in, and thanks from both Shell and me for this week. We'll be seeing you very soon on Monday to prepare for the next week of action yet again. Remember, it will be an important one because the action will again shift on the US with the US Fed's policy decision, with the US Fed's statements coming in on what can we expect on the policy decisions going forward from here. With that, we wrap up. Many thanks for tuning in.
Now, even as liquidity in the banking system remains adequate, system liquidity may tighten in the coming months due to tax outflows, increase in currency in circulation, and volatility in capital